The Politics of People, Machiavalleanism or Good Person. Chapter 1. The Politics of People. How to deal with people. 1. Treat people as if they were what they ought to be and you help them to become what they are capable of being. Johann Wolfgang von Goethe. Treat people right. Give them more than they expect. Make them feel good. A friend is someone who lives for what you create together right now. You are the people of God, He loved you and chose you for His own. So then, you must clothe yourselves with compassion, kindness, humility, gentleness, and patience. Be tolerant with one another and forgive one another whenever any of you has a complaint against someone else. You must forgive one another as the Lord has forgiven you. And to all these qualities add love, which binds all things together in perfect unity. Colossians 3:12-15. Try to be at peace with everyone. Hebrews 12:14. Accept people on their own terms. The way to deal with people is to be nice, helpful, and try to make them feel happy for the moment. They judge you in the first 5 seconds of contact, so at the very least, be neutral and bland. Don't be arrogant and snotty. At the very best, be pleasant, but don't offer a phony smile or come on too strong too soon. Just be coolly casual and nice. Give someone a compliment in a casual way like you really mean it, and they will like you immediately, because people are generally so starved for attention that they will fall for it every time. Tell almost anyone they're interesting, they will think you mean it and keep flapping their gums. By talking to someone casually, you show you like them, so they like you back. Merely by offering a bland sociable comment, you show you're being friendly. That's the best you can do, because coming on too strong and friendly is just as suspicious as being cold, if not more so. The way I deal with people is I give them lots of space. I'm not nosy. I never impose, and I don't have the need to constantly socialize and talk to others like I did when I was younger and felt worried about being lonely and trying to see what other people were thinking about to learn about life. My basic philosophy is to be sociable and non-threatening, but generally don't trust people, especially with money and in business. People I deal with don't know how cynical I am because I play along with everybody. I act like a trusting chap, but I'm not. It's not that important to me to argue to get my point across. I know nobody cares about anything but their own point of view anyway. A man hears what he wants to hear and disregards the rest, so why bother arguing with people? You can't change their minds. People will use you and betray you if you enable them by being a pushover. The next time somebody close to you betrays you, remember what I said here. I think it's partially human nature and partially the capitalist, pop culture world of material excess we live in, the I want it all, I want it now ideology. Most of us are way too self-centered to be purely loving for its own sake. We can't see past what's in our own heads to feel for the other guy. No matter how negative the person might be that I'm dealing with, I always first assume that I'm gonna get positive energy out of them, so I go in with that expectation, to feed off whatever positive vibes they're sending me, to send it back, not to go in shriveled up dreading the encounter. You have to be open to get open vibes back. I always watch my tongue. I never talk too much. I let them do most of the talking and stand there like a supportive friend, nodding and smiling like a stupid, old Buddha. People give you what you give them, except for the few bastards and bitches who are hopelessly selfish and hateful all the time. Most people think they're fascinating and beautiful. By talking to them, you reinforce this thought in them, so they like you back because they think you see how fascinating they are, even if you're just going with the flow, being casually nice to anyone who bites just for the entertainment value to see what other people are thinking about, even if you don't really give a damn. Be easy, cool and fun. The way to make people like you is to engage in small talk so that you each get a sense of each other, and if you get to a point of friendship or romantic love with someone, this ritual never ends. Most people, especially women with whom you're connected to personally, need you to touch bases with them all the time with meaningless small talk, otherwise they think you don't like them anymore or are plotting something against them by your silence. Girls aren't happy with silence. They need their husbands to talk to them for a few minutes every day or two so they know where your head is at. Even meaningless rants about nothing in particular reassures them you're still in love with them. Women over 30 know that a man could leave them for a younger chick at any time. That's the battle of the sexes. Women get uglier with age. Men get more wealthy and mature. People have to get a read on each other daily, especially your loved ones you live with, which is why, on those days you don't want to talk, you have to make a few lines of small talk anyway to show them you're not mad at them, you just don't feel like socializing much. Treat people like they're part of your family or good friends. Pay attention to the little details of what they say. Always be pleasant. Be a middle-of-the-road type of person who makes others feel comfortable. Don't run off at the mouth. Move fluidly from one subject to another. Know when the conversation is over and bow out gracefully. Use pauses and silence in moderation to let the conversation take on a natural rhythm. Don't be too profound or a know-it-all. Don't interrupt. Don't dominate. Be yourself unless you're a bore, then learn to act happy. Be interesting. Speak gently and softly. Among men in the modern world, deep friendships are rare because we've all been conditioned to stay superficial, never breathe a word about our problems and carry our own crosses, so all my relationships with my buddies are at a safe, superficial level which is sociable enough but doesn't really do much for me much as far as feeling a satisfying intimate connection. If I come across someone who snubs me or I don't intuitively like, I ignore them, avoid eye contact, keep my head down, act like they're not there and get out as soon as I can. This is better than saying something stupid to start a fight. You can learn from negative people and turn any negative encounter into a positive situation. Whenever you come across someone being a dipstick, keep your mouth shut, smile to yourself and be thankful you're not like them. Say to yourself you will try extra harder to be the exact opposite of whatever negative behavior they're showing. Everybody in your path is there to teach you something, even the negative ones. Learn what you shouldn't be like. The way to be a good person is to be good to yourself. If you respect yourself, you will have some respect for the sanctity of life and you will respect other people as copies of you on some level. The unspoken code out in public is to mind your own business, so I'm nice enough but don't smile like a naive fool, nor do I get into anybody's face. If I feel good, I give a homeless guy a buck, make casual conversation with strangers. If I feel bad, I stay away from people. Life in America is generally people rushing through life, working their jobs, going to their cubby holes to watch TV detached from everybody else. Your best bet in general for peace of mind and social expediency is to be a good person by culturing a calm, supportive nature about yourself. Just stay cool and relaxed and don't try to be too friendly, because a lot of people don't want the burden of having to be friendly to other people. They want to be left alone unbothered. They're stuck in their heads, don't understand you and don't really want to, just like you're stuck in your head living your life. If you see someone in need, reach out, give them peaceful conversation, subtle encouragement, a shot of love, inspiration, a boost. Kindness is easy when you feel good about life, so if you want to be a good citizen, be good to yourself, get your youthful spark strong, then you will have true joy and energy to burn and you will want to reach out to the world somehow. Ultimately, we're all a bunch of loner souls caught up in our own melodramas made up of our need for money and material things, our private fantasies, heartaches, tragedies, triumphs and relationships with real people. Sometimes we want intimate contact, sometimes we don't. This is life as lived day by day. Through it all, you must have the sense to know that you have to hang on to your inspired youthful spark, otherwise everything else in your life is a wash. When you meet someone for the first time, they're checking you out to see if you're friend or foe. You develop trust over time by proving you're a non-threatening positive force, but even still, face-to-face encounters with people can be tough because oftentimes, you have nothing to say but you still feel an obligation to touch bases socially. I simply try to be a good person and make pleasant, non-controversial small talk. If there's nothing to say, I move on. I don't try to force conversations. Even the closest among us are still infinite distances apart in terms of what others really know what we're thinking beyond our public personas. Many people fear other people. They're insecure and shy, they may feel lonely in a crowd, or when they feel tired and weak, they don't feel like facing other people. Many people feel tense for one reason or another sometimes. When I sense tension, I move on and leave them be. A lot of people feel self-conscious in certain social situations, especially when several or more people are focused on them. Regardless of what situation you're in, don't let groups of people make you alter your behavior because you feel self-conscious. Always be your true self. Keep your dignity. Try to talk to people as though you were one-on-one, even if in a group and everybody's trying to act cool. Don't belittle someone just to try to get a laugh. Don't talk negatively about people to other people because these people may assume you're negative and will talk about them when you turn your back. Don't force conversations. Always tailor yourself to whoever you're talking to. If you sense discomfort or the conversation dies a natural death, close it off and move on. Many people don't want to talk or make friends. Let sleeping dogs lie. You don't have to be stoic like we're supposed to be out in public, but at the same time, don't push for social interactions. Just make a few pleasant remarks. If somebody wants to talk to you, they will. If not, don't push it. Don't be too friendly. Be pleasant. People are suspicious of over-friendly people, so be nice but don't come on too strong. There are many negative, small-minded people out there. Once you realize somebody you're dealing with fits into this category, your best bet is to be superficially pleasant when you're around them, but otherwise try to avoid them as much as possible. Small-minded people are negative for either of the three following reasons, or all of them put together. Excessive vanity, ego problems, have to feel superior to everybody. Anger at the world for not being successful enough. Narrow mindset caused by a lifetime of brainwash from the world. Many of these people see life from a box with a limited point of view and set rules and regulations that don't allow them to see the big picture nor the more spiritual flow that life should be. Many negative people subconsciously feel inferior and unfulfilled on the inside, even though they don't know why, so they deal with it by being jerks on the outside in real life to try to give themselves some kind of warped good feeling for the moment, but they can never be fulfilled because all their actions are negative and empty. Many people in positions of authority try to abuse their subordinates even though they don't realize that all this power is artificial. It has nothing to do with who they really are as human beings. Many of these losers don't even realize they're jerks. Some get enlightened, many don't. Deal with these type of people minimally if you have to, but otherwise avoid them because they will just drag your soul down. If you can't sense some kind of good intention coming out of a person, don't deal with them much unless they prove to you otherwise by their actions. I don't particularly care what people think about me because I know how fulfilled I am with my life and how insecure most people are in their private thoughts, so if someone tries to put me on the spot or embarrass me in a conversation, I simply write them off as negative people and avoid sociable conversation the next time I see them. I give them short, terse answers to let them know indirectly that I don't like them nor their company. That's how you get rid of undesirables. Other than that, you ignore them, especially all the negative stuff they say. When it gets right down to it, people don't give a damn about you much, they're thinking about their lives, so don't worry about what others might be thinking about you. Just try to live a great life for yourself uninfluenced by anybody negative out there. There are losers around who overcompensate for their feelings of inferiority by being loudmouths. A line in the poem Desiderata says, avoid loud and aggressive people because they are vexations to the spirit. If you're around loud people, know they're usually messed up inside. You don't have to take it. Leave the situation as quickly as possible. With women, no matter how different the players are, even a young guy with an older woman, the guy will almost always have sexual thoughts about any female he comes across and talks to. This is the way it is for men. Maybe women are the same, I don't know, but I do know that men are sexual beings right down to the core, thinking sexually about just about all women they meet out there in public. There can be no such thing as a purely platonic relationship between a reasonably attractive guy and girl. At the very least, there will be flirting there. Most people don't want to get to know other people too well, to get too deep with them, because it's safer and easier to stay superficial, plus the fact that we're more concerned with our own lives than the lives of others, so we only want to hear their stories to stay sociable, but not so much that they drag us into their problems, miseries, melodramas, and ego trips. The golden rule is to never make waves unless someone is disrespecting you blatantly. Be pleasant to get what you want out of any deal. People respond better to pleasantness than adversity. The second you betray any sense of sarcasm or animosity in your voice is the second you've made an enemy who will try to get you back one way or another. People are generally quite vengeful and will remember the time you snubbed them if an opportunity comes up for them to get you back. If you have a gentle, calm voice, you will disarm most people who will respond with gentleness too. 1 second of a loud, arrogant tone in your voice and you've alienated someone. Life goes a lot easier if you're nice to people. How to deal with people too. People will open up to you only if you give of yourself first. If I can stop one heart from breaking, I shall not live in vain. If I can ease one life the aching, or cool one pain, or help one fainting robin unto his nest again, I shall not live in vain. Emily Dickinson. The world is full of trivial, narrow-minded people, some just petty and stupid, others inherently evil, that you will come across who will try to use you or take advantage of you one way or another. Forgive the negative lost souls of the world, even if just in your mind, then forget about them as quickly as possible. If you choose to stay around a petty lost soul, it's your fault for being so starved for companionship that you choose to stay with a louse rather than get rid of the bum. Look at negative, rotten people as a gift to you when you're faced with them, because they make you realize how lucky you are for not being like them, and make you spiritually stronger when you learn to deal with them quickly, roll over, and forget about them without any effect on your life. If you give in to bitterness and hate, it will drain your soul's natural healthy inspired energy. If you're powerful enough to forgive and forget, even if just in your mind, and keep moving on with your life, you win, because you're proving to yourself how strong you are, that no petty minds out there can faze you no matter what. You can't love everyone, so don't try. You will be intuitively attracted to 3 types of people. Your soulmate, your romantic love connection. A few kindred spirits, people who think like you. Friends, people who are not like you but are still good, decent people. Everyone else, except for relatives who you're stuck with, is basically your environment, like furniture or trees. Sure, be nice to them in a perfunctory way, smile, and even use phony charm if you want, but don't kid yourself. There's no such thing as a holistic love of humanity. There are only a few people out there that you will really truly like or love from the bottom of your heart, a kind of in-group who are people basically like you. Don't necessarily judge people by outer look. Give them a chance to reveal their souls to you. Friends aren't really kindred spirits, but they're good people who understand the need for sociability and don't mind being nice and cheerful to others, because they're decent people who want to be positive about life. So play it cool, don't judge based on outer look alone. Even slobs can be good people. I've known slobs who were great people and great friends. Just because they ate too much of the wrong foods and smelled like pizza didn't make them bad. You have to accept people for who they are. Some people hate everybody who's not like them. I'm just indifferent to them. I live my life, mind my own business, nod my head, act superficially pleasant, but don't have a strong social need to connect to people I know are different than me, even though I befriend such people from time to time because we have a common motive or understanding in a certain situation. It's simply just too overwhelming to try to befriend everybody, even people you intuitively feel nothing for, because, for one reason or another, you just know you don't like them. Be friendly to others and they will be friendly to you. You don't have to get deep about it, just be pleasant and light-hearted, go for a laugh, help them out if they need it, socialize and try to have fun times together. You can have business friends too. It's like that quote, politics makes strange bedfellows. The truth is that life makes strange bedfellows. You can have the unlikeliest of people come together to form an alliance when it comes down to earning money with each other or any other common cause. By the same token, it doesn't matter who you live next to. You will usually befriend your immediate neighbors to some extent because it's a wise thing to do from a pragmatic point of view. Prejudiced white people often develop friendships with black or gay neighbors because they see them as ordinary people like themselves, nothing more. The way of the world is generally petty materialism, so don't expect light-hearted, enlightened people out there living for soul. Expect small-minded people with phony fronts thinking they know it all, measuring their lives by their possessions and alleged status in the so-called world. Just watch court TV sometimes to see the true nature of the beast. How to deal with people. 3. All the evil in the world is generally caused by anger at feeling misused and left out by a cruel system compounded by a feeling of loneliness. Most bad people are people who probably don't get enough love and feasible opportunity to do something worthy with their lives, so know that anger is pain. These people are generally messed up with empty souls, so don't take it personally when someone lashes out at you, and know it's their problem, not yours. Miserable people are often lonely and feel that life has passed them by, but don't realize they have to create their own lives. Society is a bunch of solitary blobs of flesh, each walking around in a world of their own creation, connected to other people by the law, political system, business machine, mass media, pop culture, and the social religious delusions we share, but we're all loners. Nobody really knows what anybody else is really thinking, even though most of us try to act like we're cool, pro-social, hip and connected to the illusory in crowd. We all live in fantasies in our own minds known to none but us. You never really truly know anybody else, so your best bet is not to try too hard, because almost no one will ever reveal their true selves to you. Accept yourself for who you are, accept your life and play along with everybody else. Let them live in their fantasy worlds just like you live in yours. Don't try to change them or impose your view. Everybody loves themselves above all else, everybody thinks they're pretty damn cool and special, so your job is to play along, be pleasant, nice, and use a bit of charm. That's the true politics of how to get along with people. Everything you do speaks volumes about your character, and if you're negative, it will be used against you at some point in time as an act of revenge, so I always either keep my mouth shut or speak like pleasant jello, going along with anybody I come across, because I have no ego to protect anyway, since I don't care of what others might think of me or of what impression I might make on them, so I don't bother with the own-upmanship games many people play. I just be myself, and if somebody doesn't like that, I could care less. To get what you want, give people what they want, namely attention, compliments, charm, and useful practical assistance. Don't bother with own-upmanship thinking. If you're enlightened, your ego is within you as part of your soul. You don't need to compete with other people or feed your ego by trying to appear superior or winning some illusory status games. You already feel good within yourself. You really don't need other people to give you a jolt, pep talk, or a compliment, nor do you need to connect with people for comfort and support. If you need love, try to find one pure heart to be with. If you can find a few kindred spirits who share your love of life, you're ahead of the game. Everyone else is caught up in a world of their own creation, their own fantasies and problems. It's great to think highly of yourself, but when you're around other people, be humble, passive, and interested in them in a courteous way. Try to like people, or at least be nice to them. It's the best way, even if you hate them, simply to avoid friction. Refuse to allow anyone to belittle your soul by making you hate them. Hate is a tough emotion because it takes so much effort. It's so much easier to be free to go along, liking whomever you want, forgiving your enemies and ignoring the rest. At the very least, keep your mouth shut around people you don't like. Forgive, forget, and keep moving, taking nothing too seriously. If you meet a downer, get away as quickly as possible and don't let anyone interfere with your connection to your soul. There are very few wonderfully perfect people in the world. Whenever you're feeling scared, just remember that everybody else around you is feeling the exact same insecurities. People put on cool fronts, but underneath, everybody's the same mash of contradictory emotions. Biggest mistakes by most people. The biggest mistake is easily Dante Alighieri's first 7 deadly sins. Pride, ego, arrogance, vanity, people thinking they're hot shit, treating others like subservient crap. Everybody sees the world from their own point of view, with themselves as the most important thing in life, so the biggest mistake nearly everybody makes is that they think others are thinking about them and concerned with their lives as much as they're thinking about them, but they aren't. The biggest mistakes most people make is that they concern themselves too much with what they think others think of them, namely their so-called image in the real world, plus they see themselves as more special than they really are in the grand scheme of things. Granted, it's nice to feel special about yourself. If you don't, nobody else will, but the problem starts when you think you're so special that other people are really interested or really spending their time thinking about your state of affairs. Get it through your head. Everybody lives in their own thoughts, preoccupied with the most special thing to them, themselves, not you. Even teeny boppers can't obsess that much over their pop idols because they got their own lives and their own fantasies, which are more interesting and real to them than some manufactured fantasy in the media. The same holds for your friends and lovers who don't care about your daily thoughts or routine all that much. They got their own lives and problems, so the lesson is to take your focus away from what you think others might be thinking about you and focus on the reality that is your life. I did a survey on the internet, and one of my biggest findings is that people think they know about their lovers' headspaces and what their lovers really think of them, but the truth is that your perceptions of others and your perceptions of how you think they see you are often way off from the truth of the matter. Generally, you see others as more plain and generic than they see themselves, and they see you as more plain and generic than you think you are. Everybody sees themselves as more special, good, kind, nice and fascinating than others see them, and everybody is a critic when it comes to other people. Self-consciousness is the anxiety caused by worrying what others are thinking of you. I just say the hell with it and do what I want to do while being pleasant, quiet and humble. How to be likable in business, school, or at work / how to be a brown nose / suckhole. Act humble, modest, deferential, and act like you sincerely like people even if you don't. You can see all kinds of phonies in the media. Watch them. They're always in character as nice, charming people, even though you know they'll steamroll anyone who gets in their way. Successful people aren't necessarily good people. They just have position and maybe money. You have to act like you think they're higher and mightier than you and they can teach you something because they're so advanced. It's all about buttering up the egos of all those phonies out there who think they got something over everyone else. Most have fragile egos. If they didn't, they wouldn't care about being out there with other people. Most enlightened people do their own thing regardless of praise or criticism. Egomaniacs that may be over you like a boss or teacher are generally suckers for praise. Just don't go too heavy on it. Try to lighten the mood. Be friendly. Don't be controversial. Don't ask hard questions. There's no exact path. Many people are evil. They get joy out of seeing subordinates or students squirm. Try your charm, but it could backfire if they sense you are a phony like them. Imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. Copy the people you want to impress. You have to be nice but at the same time show enough flair so they think you're cool, that you're worthy of keeping company with them, even socially. Everybody is ultimately alone. Many people cannot get enough personal contact. Except for a few sad sacks and curmudgeons, most people like social contact, but the big egos want you to be deferential. If you act like a chum, they will think you're taking liberties with them. Act interested in other people. Act like you need knowledge, like a mentor to help you navigate the system. Be as real as you can. Create nice, sociable social media like a blog, Facebook page, Instagram account, or YouTube channel, then casually mention to others that you're putting stuff up there. They might check it out to see how cool you are. Make comments in school and work business. Start a conversation on social media with the people you go to school with or work with. Share and like their content. Act dedicated. People want to see that you are learning from their wisdom, so sometimes you later repeat back something they said earlier. Be a helper. Don't just take. Help others. To make it in academia or any field, you have to be a people person. You have to socialize, be friendly and know how to make small talk. How to deal with people websites. Adviceforreligious.org. Adviceguide.org.uk. AllaboutLifeChallenges.org. Alambo.com/article/11077-how-quickly-deal-with-rude-people.html. AskYourNeighbor.com. BehaviorAdvisor.com. CosmoGirl.com/lifeadvice. DealingWithDifficultPeople.com. HometownQuotes.com. HowToDealWithAnnoyingPeople.com. HowToDealWithCreepyPeople.com. IdealPeopleModels.com. LifeAdvice.com. LifeAdvice.nl. LifeAdvice.org.uk. LifeTips.com. People.howstuffworks.com. VitalityTherapy.com. SoulfulLiving.com. Time.com/personal. wikihow.com/deal-with-impossible-people. Chapter 2. Be Evil in Business. Evil Business Introduction. There are rules to be evil in business to get filthy rich. Most people don't get caught. A few do. There is not much to know. Watch all the episodes of a TV show called American Greed if you can. There is virtually one rule. Be the devil in sheep's clothing. Once you got trust, you can plunder, loot, and steal quite a lot. I did some extensive research looking for how to be evil in business. In most libraries, between number 650 and number 659, you will not find one business book telling you how to succeed in business being evil. Yet according to an evil guy I heard turned Christian, he said most billionaires got that way, being evil, competitive, cutthroat. The thing about business is that many evil tactics aren't really criminal. If you screw your competition by threatening his supplier who is your supplier too, and your account is much bigger than his, that you'll shut down your account if he doesn't cut him out, that's not a crime. That's just business. You will never see a successful businessman say how evil he is in any book he writes. They all whitewash their biographies. If you look at Microsoft, you might ask, why do they screw people by cutting them off if they don't register a new computer within 30 days? Some people aren't connected to the internet, or they're just into working. They ignore everything else, yet Microsoft goes after everybody in the most trivial ways to try to prevent software piracy, which screws a lot of the people who legitimately buy their products. Real evil is the mafia, the Illuminati, central banks, multinational corporations relocating for cheap labor, and companies that pollute the planet. You have to be a psychopath. You have to be charming. You have to have allies, but be willing to stab them in the back when you must for your own ambition. Use people to get what you want by giving them what they want, but throwing them under the bus if you have to. Greed undoes a lot of people who get caught because they don't know when to stop. If something works a few times, some people throw caution to the wind and get bold. Pride will be your undoing. The best scam artists are quiet. There was a story about a bunch of young, hippie computer hackers stealing loads of money. The only way they got caught was that some cop saw some kid driving around in a real expensive car. He thought he must have been a drug dealer, but they were computer hackers. If the guy had driven an average car, they would not have gotten caught. Observe the political games in any nation. There is almost no loyalty. Your closest friend will stab you in the back because you're all evil together. There is really no honor among evil people. They'll be loyal while the going is good, but when the shit goes down, everybody is out for themselves. The Art of War by Lao Tzu is not about being evil. It's about using an opportunity to win, but there is no evil intent. It's something you have to do, like kill or be killed. You can find free audio versions at YouTube. The thing about being evil is, you might get caught by the cops. You might rip off the wrong people who will kill you. You might create a mob scene where a bunch of people attack you in real time. You never have peace of mind, even if you're a psychopath without a conscience. you still know there are people out there who want to kill you. Bernie Madoff stole billions of dollars, but I'll bet during all that time, he was always worrying about when it was all gonna come down. His son committed suicide. Even psychopaths contemplate their lives and feel remorse. That's what Jesus Christ is for. The rules of evil business. You don't have to extra smart or know a lot of business knowledge. You have to make people connections and be ready to take advantage of an opportunity by betraying almost everybody except for your gang if you have one, but you can even betray them if you've got nothing to lose, like you get arrested and threatened with a lengthy jail sentence. The general rule is that wealth creates more wealth. Wealthy people help each other by giving each other opportunities. They tend to keep others out. In order to get into an elite group of wealthy people, you either have to get rich first or prove yourself as a capable, competitive, loyal, cutthroat kind of person. Wealthy people don't share their money or knowledge with outsiders. You have to network with everybody. You have to pretend you're a good old boy or girl. You have to act honest, reliable, trustworthy, and friendly. The Judas principle is that you befriend people then betray them when you get the opportunity for a big gain, not a small one. This works on a societal level. Look at any stock market crash. They're planned events. The few wealthy people create hype in the stock market, then sell their stocks right before they create a depression by tightening the money supply, therefore business loans. Be an honest businessman and an invisible criminal at the same time. This is how you fool the taxman and all nosy people. Run a legitimate business. Do your criminal activities quietly, either within that business or separately. Big crimes like drug smuggling, weapons sales, selling counterfeit brand name goods, etc. are often done by people with legitimate businesses that they use as a cover for their crimes. They pay off police and politicians. They donate big money to political parties. Bankers lobbied to create laws to give them the right to plunder people with bad investment instruments, which they did. They paid off the politicians to buy those laws. Big businesses create artificial scarcities in some products and raise the prices. You can buy, bribe and otherwise control people by giving them gifts, sexual escort services, trips, etc. Pay people well. This one thing alone will give you plenty of fair weather loyalty, which is as good as it gets. Destroy a powerful enemy. You probably can't buy him off. When in Rome, do as the Romans do. Act respectful and humble. You're a wolf in sheep's clothing. Never underestimate revenge. Psychopaths that you betray could go so far as to kill you. Don't ever do anything for quick revenge. Revenge is a dish best served cold. Study other evil successful people and imitate them. You don't have to go to church, but make sure you tell everyone you're a Christian. Keep a Bible on your desk. Say a few Christian one-liners now and then, like praise God or amen. Only tell a lie if you know you won't get caught. Make friends with your enemies if possible. Divide powerful enemies and conquer them. Followers are followers. Don't trust them to do big jobs. The way to culture someone into your evil empire is to start them off with a small evil task like cheating on taxes, stealing something small from a supplier or something like that. Once somebody is willing to compromise once, you know they're evil. It's just a matter how far they'll go. Most people go to full evil acts in business step by step. An evil person in business needs eternal vigilance and personal protection. Maybe you need a bodyguard. It's best to be totally secure all the time. Have a big gate around your house. Carry a weapon, etc. You have enemies that you screwed. They might want to get you back. There are evil people and criminal gangs everywhere. There are two types of gangs. Full-time criminal. Businessman, criminal activities are secret. Try to ally yourself with dishonest business people. Be loyal to them. They might try to use you, but some criminal business groups have loyalty and a code of silence. If you're allied with a group of evil cohorts, there are certain rules to follow. It must be a secret, invisible group. Deny you are in the group. There is a hierarchy. Everybody must obey orders from the top. There must be harmony among the members. Members must not betray each other. Be honest with the members of your group. If you join an evil group, you're stuck in there. You can't get out. If you break the code, they could kill you. Deny, deny, deny. Stall, stall, stall. Time softens most evil acts. A lot of people forget. Create goodwill by spending money on people, like some crooks start charities or hold neighborhood picnics. Everyone likes a free party. Chapter 3. Be good, evil, or both to achieve success. Machiavelli Rules of Life and Business. In case you don't know, Niccolo Machiavelli wrote a small book called The Prince during the era before Italy united in the modern age, when it was made up of about 400 city-states. Machiavelli was a government official in one of these states who was probably the first guy besides the Bible and Dante's 7 deadly sins in the Inferno who took a rational look at what exactly does evil behavior do for people. It's not all bad. We all have evil inside of us. Most moderately evil people don't get caught and end up ahead. Some get caught and go to jail, but the smart ones, like top-level politicians, get away with a lot of crimes. I just saw a documentary on Tony Blair. He's no different than Nancy Pelosi and Biden, voting for wars because they own stocks in military companies. And who is this Hunter Biden drug addict kid, the son of an American president, making $50,000 a month to sit on the board of a Ukrainian oil company, and nobody takes the press to task for that corruption? Evil never ends. It doesn't matter where you go. All those big-time NGOs with big budgets are as corrupt as anyone. The United Nations is made up of a bunch of corrupt fat asses. If they gave a crap about the world, they would be urgently trying to stop overpopulation. Any man who tries to be good all the time is bound to come to ruin among the great number who are not good. Nice guys finish last. Niccolo Machiavelli. Even if you're a good person, you still have to use questionable tactics to get rid of jerks and assholes from time to time, otherwise all your work is for nothing. The one thing that gets me about Machiavellian tactics is that all this scheming and manipulating seems stupid. You should have your cause, it should be a good one, then pursue openly with power and conviction. If people get in your way, you got doing the right thing on your side. Get rid of them in the name of doing the right thing. Don't fight them. It's a waste of time. You have to focus on your mission. Fire them if you have that power. The truth is that some people don't care about power within an organization. I can earn money working for somebody without having any ambition within the company. I'm just there for the money. People like me live by their own standards in their own minds. I think most people are a bunch of petty assholes who can't find fulfillment in their own lives, so they look out into the world for attention. I try to insulate myself from them and not be concerned with their petty games like the power structure in any company, which is why there are people around who are not scheming to get ahead, because they don't care about all that bullshit small-minded men do to try to get some kind of feeling of worth. I believe I know Machiavellian tactics because from the age of 17 to 22 I attended a military college where I saw how quickly young men like me got sucked into the conventions of this closed system and started to play its game, which was to try as hard as you could to get as high a rank as you could, which didn't affect me because I already had a strong connection to my soul. I didn't give a damn about rank or any of the system's games to try to snare impressionable people into sacrificing themselves for the system's rewards and trinkets. I knew it was a funny farm, but I wanted that free college degree, so I played along while focusing on my only two real interests, learning about life and physical activity, taking my body to its limits. I was branded a nonconformist early on, but did enough to satisfy them so they didn't bother me too much, just left me alone most of the time. I learned so much about human nature there that I never got over my cynicism of the human race, and it's now 35 years later. Human nature goes mostly from self-centered to evil, but pretty well everyone thinks they're good or do evil things out of necessity for the good intentions they have. The paradox of power in a modern capitalist world is that you can't just kill your enemies. You have to act pro-social while you're scheming against them. Everything I've read about tough business tactics is a big contradiction. Basically they say opposing things in the same book, like they'll say be a peacock to get attention for yourself, but then they'll say be non-controversial. Never take a strong stance in anything. I say trust your intuition. You don't have to be a jerk or a mean guy to be successful. Be critical of everything you read about business. Some of it is really bad advice. In my opinion, the most important rules for Machiavellian tactics are: never show blatant emotion, especially with anger. Keep it all in. Strike behind the scenes. Don't trust anyone but act like you do. Try to act nice or at least neutral by not bad-mouthing anybody, because you never know when you need to build bridges. Even after you've betrayed someone or committed a despicable act, act like nothing happened. When accused, deny, deny, deny. You might love someone, but they see you as a meal ticket. They will betray you for their gain. Don't let love cloud your judgment. Live event by event, then tailor your plans according to what happened. In the old days of king's courts, everybody was nice on the surface and did their scheming in back rooms. When you're betrayed, live to fight another day. Bide your time. Be calm. Wait for a good opportunity when your enemy is weak. Calculate every possible consequence of your schemes. Use your past interactions to determine what to do now. Accept the fact that human nature is self-centered to evil more than it is good. In any organization that has a promotion structure, accept that everyone is scheming to get promoted, so play the game without guilt. Deception is part of the game. Be patient. Wait for the right time to strike. Impatience, an outward show of aggression, makes you look weak. You can't control yourself. You have to make decisions based on the outcome you want without regard for morality. Evil is simply part of it. Machiavelli one-liners. Act friendly to your enemies like you're not an enemy. They might not see you as an enemy, but you know they could interfere with you, so always be doing some nosing around to know how to nullify them if need be. Like if enemy Joe has a weakness for gambling, tell the big boss that he can't be trusted because of his gaming addiction. Act like you trust people, but don't trust anybody too much. Mafia Don John Gotti wanted to kill his trusted 2IC Sammy the Bull Gravano because he knew too much and Gotti was worried about betrayal. Act like an honorable good guy while being conniving beneath the surface. Always dress well. Always act subservient to people with higher rank even if you think they're bozos. Always plan several moves ahead, thinking of the possible consequences of each move. Appeal to greed. Arguments create enemies. Honey traps flies. Be nice rather than confrontational. Avoid fighting someone stronger directly. Bide your time. Everybody falls and weakens. That's when you strike. Be a good deal maker. Give people what they want to get what you want. If you're good at this, people will come to you with opportunities. Be a doer. Everyone respects action and accomplishment. Be very wary about bruising other people's egos, even subordinates, because the bigger the person's ego, the smaller his mind is. If somebody does something to bruise one of these people's egos, they will go to ridiculous lengths to get you back one way or another. Be complimentary, innocuous, and subservient to your boss. Be cynical. Act like a good, easygoing person, but always be aware of what's going on around you. Brown-nosing should be subtle so as not to alienate your peers. Culture allies everywhere. Get allies by helping people. Money talks. Delusion is great. Most people think they're good and fantastically talented. Exploit their delusions. Divide and conquer means you play enemies off against each other, then go in and beat them all. Don't take favors unless you think the relationship will be useful to you. Otherwise you will be indebted to the favor giver. Don't force people to join you. Seduce them. Don't indulge in bad habits. Don't act superior. It alienates people. Don't exploit, lie, and cheat all the time. Mix it in with periods of deep honesty, kindness, and generosity. Like a mean, hard-driving boss has a big party or gives a good Christmas bonus, then his appeal goes up. Don't tell enemies and casual acquaintances your big ideas. They'll either attack them or be jealous. Don't ride anyone's coattails. Follow your own path. Don't talk philosophy and high ideals with your cohorts. It's not about what's really happening. It's hot air. Even though you can keep some enemies close as in giving them a job or turn them loyal by giving them money, some enemies have to be eliminated, otherwise they regain strength and get back at you. Everybody is envious. Once you reach top status, everybody is against you even though they suck up to you. Exercise to stay healthy and strong. Fool people. Act innocuous, not devious, and ambitious. Quite often, you got some effeminate guy acting all sociable with everyone, but he's really devious, trying to manipulate people to serve his own ends. For yourself, it's best to live by your soul, by your own natural inner convictions of life, and be immune to what others might think of you, good or bad. Gifts and favors make people feel indebted to you. Good brown-nosers are always front and center, not hanging around the back. I believe no good deed goes unpunished. I used to help people out of goodwill, but have since realized you give someone an inch, they take a mile. They take you for a sucker and feel entitled. They'll try to get what they can out of you and will not appreciate your help. I never give unsolicited advice. If I see somebody doing something the wrong way, most of the time I won't say a damn thing. I never argue about anything because it's not worth it to me. People don't listen anyway, they got their view, that's it. You just alienate people by arguing with them. I play along with everybody, but I trust almost nobody. If people try to flaunt their moral superiority, they have ulterior motives. If you're ambitious, you have to suck up to people. Act like a nice, safe, friendly guy or girl to everybody, because you never know when you need friends. You could get caught in a compromising position. Your friends will lie for you. Your enemies won't. If you are new to a position of power, bring change in slowly over time so that you don't alienate the people. If you belittle others and make them feel inferior, most will remember and get you back when they can. If you're too common, like socializing at lunch, always at work, hanging around after work with co-workers at the strip joint, you have no sense of mystique and nobility. You have to seem distant and up in the clouds to a certain point to keep people guessing about the real you, so they'll jump when you tell them to. If you are trying to destroy an enemy, it's better to fake friendship than show anger. If you're really cunning, you make people think they came up with what you want them to do on their own. You can offer choices, all of which favor you. If you make peace with an enemy, hire him because he will want to prove his worth to you. If you get caught, deny, deny, deny. If there are political battles within your organization, be polite to all sides but don't commit to anyone but yourself. Play politics though. If one side is the clear winner, go with them. If you have any skeletons, either bring them out into the open or bury them. Ignore what you can't control. Don't be obsessed with your enemies. Focus on you moving ahead. In a big protest, the cops go after the one or two troublemakers at the front. Identify your main enemy. If you eliminate him, his underlings will not threaten you. It's fine to be power hungry, just act like you're not. Act like you're out for goodness and progress. Learn from watching your enemy's tactics. Let him win at cards or golf. Remember, I said people are petty, and a lot of them really are, even though no one thinks they're petty. Make others feel smart. Present yourself as not too smart or devious. That way, you can see when they try to pull basic scams on you. Make your boss think he's smarter and better than you. Make him think he's mentoring you and you're taking it all in. Make your subordinates work hard in order to make you look good. Making a show of one's weakness is a ploy to get support and sympathy. Many people win once, get overconfident, then lose badly. Most people in top positions are very conservative. They don't make bold moves, only calculated sure things. Be bold only if you can handle the criticism by continuing to be bold. Most people are creatures of ego as opposed to creatures of their souls, so they care about what others think of them, which makes them fragile because they're dependent on others for at least part of their self-worth, whereas spiritual people care only about the inner convictions they feel within themselves and don't care much about other people one way or another. Never look stressed out. Never let them see you sweat. Don't act hurried or panicked. Act calm. Never outdo the boss. Let him take the credit for your work as long as you know that he knows you did it. Never put too much trust in friends because they will betray you to save themselves. Never correct a superior in public. You can do it in private as though you're helping him, but be subtle. Never assume you're an informal friend of someone with a higher rank. They want that deference to authority, aka worship. Never leave valuables out where two or more people have access to them, because somebody will steal them and you won't have absolute proof as to who did it. The biggest rule is to assume everyone is petty, phony, out for themselves, wants admiration, wants to think they got game, cool and sexy, and secretly thinks they're better, smarter and superior to others even though they would never admit to it. Never reveal your controversial ideas or who you hate to others because they'll always tell somebody else. Plan most scenarios and think the possible consequences through. Reinforce relationships with allies by giving them stuff and taking them out for dinner and drinks once in a while. Spiritual people are very rare in the capitalist world of business, even though everybody likes to think they're spiritual, out to do the right thing out of a noble feeling within themselves. The game is money, status, how high you are in the company, and crushing the competition. Stand back when the time is not right. Wait for the right timing to strike. Stay calm but try to make your neighbors angry. Successful people within a company are usually people who don't really take strong stances in anything. They're like middle of the road, innocuous, yes man types who take orders well, do as they're told and appear loyal even if they are scheming for the top job. Sympathize with the nonconformists and complainers, but don't hang around with them too much. The easiest way to get someone to do something is to give them something like money, a raise, etc. The more you say, the more common you look and the more likely you are to say something stupid. Say your piece succinctly, then stop. There's a fine line between being a good, chummy leader and locking yourself away in your office. You have to play both sides. You have to appear approachable and trustworthy while not giving up any professional respect. Treat everybody with kid gloves, meaning don't be controversial or get into arguments. Be blandly nice. Discretion is the better part of valor. When in doubt, keep your mouth shut. Try to get others to look up to you for leadership, ideas, advice, and favors. A lot of people are weak. They will be loyal to you if you do something for them. Victimize and exploit only weak people if you can. Be careful to avoid fights with strong or crazy people who are willing to kill you to get you back. Violence or open aggression to get power is frowned upon by everybody. You have to get power beneath the surface, by making deals and blackmailing enemies in back rooms. When you betray people, act like you're not, like you're oblivious to it. You need an air of unpredictability so that they won't dare disobey lest you give them the axe. You can't control what others think of you or lies about you, so do what you can to ignore naysayers. Then if you catch one of them in a dark stairwell alone with you, it's a good time to throw them up against the wall and tell them to stop gossiping about you. The noble approach to business and life. When I was young, I saw movies about noble individuals doing the right thing and getting applauded at the end by their co-workers or people in general, but in the real world most people are petty and playing one-upmanship. They will not cheer for you no matter what unless it's a phony act for the others. If you want to be noble, you're already way past most of your co-workers by living by your own inner standard as opposed to them who are living by the standard of your workplace, playing politics with the other people in that little closed system. A noble person lives with high ideals to honor who they feel they were created to be. They are independent of what others might think of them. Your reward is the self-respect and peace of mind you get by living by your own standard. With this approach, you could go high in your field but at the same time, Other people will be envious, so they'll try to put you down a peg by saying you're a weird nonconformist. Don't flaunt your high ideals around others, because if you do, they'll brand you as an elitist who thinks you're better than everyone else. If you have your own code of nobility, the best place to be is to run your own business and don't work for a company with a large workforce, because the atmosphere in big workplaces is very cutthroat and competitive. Your competing co-workers will see that you're a cut above them, so they'll try to destroy you one way or another, usually by saying he thinks he's better or he's an isolated loner, doesn't work as a team player. Even if you are a team player, they'll still say you're a loner because they can't stand somebody different and better than them, so they'll all gang up on you. My favorite piece of prose about the soul of the enlightened person is this excerpt is from a speech frequently called "The Man in the Arena," given by President Theodore Roosevelt in Paris in 1910, a year after he left office. It is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles, or where the doer of deeds old have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs and comes up short again and again, because there is no effort without error and shortcomings, who knows the great devotion, who spends himself in a worthy cause, who at the best knows in the end the high achievement of triumph, and who at worst, if he fails while daring greatly, knows his place shall never be with those timid and cold souls who know neither victory or defeat.